Returning to Ungawa Uku Jamaat Mosque and witnessing the direct benefits of the afforestation programme initiated by the British Council was a truly inspiring experience. British Council's Ben Fisher was there to offer a hand.
One of the initiatives that we've been trying to promote here in northern Nigeria is tree planting. But in order to prevent desert encroachment from being more severe than it already is, and we're looking at, in some cases, up to 11 kilometres of desert encroachment a year. Obviously, tree planting is one way of stopping that. And tree planting also has the possibility to moderate climate and to filter some of the negative elements that contribute to climate change.
The education of young children is an important area which the British Council are keen to address, and this was evident at the Ungawa Uku Jamaat Mosque.
Every initiative that we do in the area of climate change is fundamental to have children involved. At the end of the day, we're starting to see some of the effects of climate change now. But really, it's the children, our children, that are going to be most affected. So by getting them involved in raising awareness of the issues of climate change and getting them involved in taking action on some of these challenges, I think that we'll have a brighter future.
We like planting these trees in the mosque.
They give us shade, fruits, and protect our environment against desert encroachment.
7 minutes. Plant a tree.
The British Council are working to readdress the balance, and educating local school children involved can only seek to give their climate change message a longevity as these children become the next generation. Professor Baid Ahmed Barbers from the Kano State University explains further.
The university plays an important role in educating at the vanguard for development, for awareness, for change, for general improvement of people's lives. Generally speaking, and particularly in Africa or here in Nigeria, many people are not as educated about it as they should be. We often take the changes that we see gradually but surely, we take it for granted. And I think there is a need for the generality of the people to be informed on the nature and the consequences of the changes in our climate. Well, the future belongs to the youth. It is their country. So whatever we do now will be for some time for those of us who are adults. But the youth are the ones who will take over the country, those who would continue and sustain what we have started, and therefore we can't do without them. We have to get them involved. We have to let them know, to cultivate early in life necessary changes in order to lessen, to minimize the effect of the climate change.
Students contribute tremendously to climate change. In fact, everybody does. Now, when you're looking at the causes of climate change, we now realize that everybody, including students themselves, contribute. They contribute in ways, maybe areas of waste disposal, inadequate disposal of waste. They contribute in areas of burning of fossil fuel and all the like. So it is very important, if they are made at this level, to be aware of the implications of climate change, what it does to the environment, what it does to man himself. And I think at this stage, if they are well aware, they would make a very good impact in combating climate change.
The awareness is significantly important because when they are aware, they can able to find way out of checking the effect of climatic problem in the whole world.
Another way in which awareness is being raised is through the use of images. This photography exhibition at the British Council offices in Kano showcased some powerful pictures illustrating the effects of climate change all over Nigeria. This exhibition was attended by leading figures from northern Nigeria, including faith leaders as well as ordinary members of the public. One of the organisers explained how the exhibition came about.
We put a call out for emerging photographers across Nigeria. We were inundated with applications, and out of that we found 8 fantastic photographers who were showing their works here tonight. Those photographers went on to travel across Nigeria, documenting climate change through their lens.
Welcome, taking into account the changes, the climatic changes that we are noticing in our society.
This project was born out of the desire to help raise awareness of climate change here in Nigeria, and also, just as importantly, for the advancement of photography as a creative medium here in Nigeria.
People did not need ceiling fans, air conditioners, but nowadays the area is getting hotter.
That these photographs sort of bring home what climate change is all about. I think to many Nigerians, climate change is a fairly abstract concept to them. And just looking at these pictures immediately gives them some idea what we're talking about when we say climate change. And when we say it's a real threat, well, the pictures say it all, the way that communities and lives and livelihoods have been affected by climate change.
Will go a long way in alerting the general public to the dangers of climatic changes. As you can see from the erosions, the desert encroachment, where large farms are lost to the deserts. That call upon us to care about the environment, to the extent that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is saying that, there is a tradition that says, even in the hour that you are going to die, if you can, plant a tree.
One of the key things that we have found here in Nigeria is that people just simply don't know enough about the issues. So if people are not informed about the issues surrounding climate change, it's very difficult for them to make decisions and feel empowered to put pressure on their governments to take action on climate change. The first thing that I would say that people really need to do is to start disseminating some of the science and the moral imperatives to take action on climate change. And when we have a deeper understanding of the issues and there's a mobilization of mass congregations to take action, then we can start to really make progress. So I would suggest that understanding the issues is the first step to taking action.
It's like a time bomb. It's something that is going to explode. We are growing in population and people will have to live, we have to eat, people need water, people need agricultural lands and so on. If your own is no longer fertile, cannot be farmed, then you have to look for it elsewhere, and that will cause serious tension. And I think this is why it is particularly important for Nigeria, nationally, as well as at the level of state and local government, to take a very serious view of the climate change.
Are there crops that could be developed in northern Nigeria that will resist very extreme weather conditions? I think that these are there cooking stoves that can be developed, and I know they already are being developed, that will use less firewood, for instance. So how can people adapt is the key question that we need to debate and find solutions to.
It's widely believed that unless we limit the emissions of greenhouse gases within the next few decades, the economic and social impacts will escalate with catastrophic outcomes. We also know that answers exist and technological solutions are being developed. But ultimately, we need to be ready and willing to change our behaviour and invest in the solutions needed to save our planet.